Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 13. Season 13, Week 1. Today
Yes.
we've got not the GGs versus the Pfizer Alopecia treatment ad. And it's got Will Smith on the flag, so you know it's
Alopecia, but yeah.
Alopecia. I'm not a doctor. You're the doctor. You decide these things. This is not the GGs. I don't remember what their team name is, but it ain't the GGs. I don't know why it's not made yet. It's two consecutive tournaments where the London team uses the GG's name, even though they're not the GGs anymore. I guess they're really,
They're committed.
yeah.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
This is game 2, of course. If you're wondering what happened to game 1, we weren't there. We didn't do that one. Got Tennyson Clockwork. No surprise there.
Yep.
We weren't there. We did not do the game 1 of this series. That was Roxy Roro who did that for us. And if you want to see Roxy Roro's version of this game, look on his Twitch. And if you want him to see, if you want to see it on YouTube, at him, not me. I don't have those.
Yes.
5 seconds remaining.
So what happened in game 1 of the series? I don't know. I didn't see it.
Something happened.
Something happened.
There was Dota played.
Given the bans that that have been laid out so far, I would imagine London happened, PVC Pipe happened, and Luke's happened.
Or just banning all their comfort heroes.
Could be.
5 seconds remaining.
Instantly pulling out the Grimstroke, though. Tell ya, depending on how he positions, Grimstroke can really mess up a Clockwork. Like, there is nothing that quite screws you over as Clockwork. Like, you align that perfect hook shot, and right as you're about to get it off, suddenly, silence!
Radiant
Yep.
team pick.
Got a Sand King up here. Just looking, just one of those
10 seconds remaining.
sort of lineups looking to, really at this point, just kind of stack the
5
stun.
seconds remaining.
Looking more for the damage off of Inkswell, I would say, than the actual stun off of it. Which we talked about last series. So if you want to hear more about my opinions on that, check out that video. Suffice to say, I don't like it.
Crystal Maiden.
Crystal Maiden coming up here is probably going to be our wizard hero.
Yep. There are two basically confirmed picks for, not the GGs. I don't know what their
10
team name
seconds
is.
remaining.
Yep.
Dire team ban.
I would say fairly confirmed picks as well. I mean, hypothetically, theoretically, could be a Sand King mid here. I don't really think they're going to be running that this time, though. Hard to say. It's likely going to be our Matty Boy. Matty Boy. No, probably not Matty Boy, actually, because he's standing in, isn't he?
Yes.
Radiant team ban.
Cranberry's at 3 on this lineup, so... Likely,
number 1 pick,
well,
Cranberry Sprite.
Yep. Number 1 overall.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Knocking the Medusa out of the lineup here. Not a surprise, you had the Anti-Mage ban come in. So the Anti-Mage ban came in after the Medusa ban, so they're doing Backwardsville.
Yep.
I like how London and Normalan are both in the LD2L clan, and then Wizard is in the B-Word clan.
Yeah.
No Pugna. It's very interesting. I don't really know anything about Luke's mid lineup, to be honest with you. Something I haven't
Yeah,
really
not
done a
sure.
lot of research into.
5 seconds remaining.
Hard to say.
Radiant team.
Maddie's probably the 4 here, if I had to guess. In the spirit is banned. Just looking
It
at
certainly is.
a lot of these London heroes here, they're not really putting a lot of stock into their into the pause 1 on this lineup.
10 seconds remaining.
Pause 1, of course, being Gotham.
5 seconds remaining.
They're banning the 1s of their own
Yeah.
team?
Oh wait, no, hold
Or
on.
ignoring the 1 on
Gotham's
their
on
team?
the other team. Sorry.
Yeah. No, Gotham's on their
I don't know
team.
I don't know the pause 1 on the fake GGs is. Maybe.
I think it's, Silmarin? I don't know who of these people is Silmarin.
10 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
who knows?
I believe it to be
I
Silmarin.
think maybe he's stood in for.
5 seconds
Could be.
remaining.
Or it could be his name right now is Melizzard.
We'll see when the picks come up.
You're telling me that there's a stand-in on a London team and it's not somebody standing in for London himself?
Yeah, amazing.
Dire team pick.
You're telling me we're not going to be seeing any exciting tiny action this game?
I played like an hour and a half long game with London.
Did you win?
Yes, we won. I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's good. It would suck to play an hour and a half and then lose, like everybody on the other team did.
10
Oh, yeah, that's
seconds
true.
remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Shadow Shaman. I don't know if there's a game out there where Shadow Shaman is a particularly bad pick. Say this much, he works well with the Grimstroke. See two nice little hexes right next to each other, they can really mess up the dynamic of a fight.
Yep.
And of course, nothing quite like the blissful feeling of having a bunch of snakes prop up right between you and the guy you're tethered to. Death Prophet coming up on the other side of it.
Yeah, it's probably a London pick.
More than likely, yeah, that we're going to be seeing. Unless we're going to be seeing the exciting adventures of the Pause 2 Crystal Maiden, I'm pretty confident that support's there, so probably not going to see the funny
Or pause 3
support
Clockwork. I remember when that
5
existed.
seconds remaining.
That's true, yeah.
Dire team pick.
Can be done, it's just not very, very ideal. Too easily countered. Not much more you get out of them than you get on 4. But it can be done. You do get some more out of them. By the way, I am the Juggernaut. I will now be
There it is.
ignoring all 3 of these people on your team right now.
5 seconds.
You can't ignore the Shaman completely. We've definitely seen some recent occasions where, you know, Juggernaut is just sitting there in the wards begging for a way out.
Yep.
But certainly, for the most part, your day-to-day activities, the Juggernaut is going to be really kind of nullifying the Sand King and the Grimstroke picks, at least as far as they concern him.
Yep. But then, you know, I suppose they can just turn their attentions to your Death Prophet.
Shoutouts to Combination Bean, who has to work until 8 a.m.
Bad. Graveyard Shift.
Oh boy, are we going to be doing some...
Gotham CK.
We're going to be doing some funny 3 CK and 2 Sand King? Please don't do 2 Sand King.
I bet. I'm sure it's Gotham CK.
Probably.
Gotham likes his illusion heroes.
More than
On the
likely.
one roll.
I'm begging you, fellas. It's already working out real bad. Don't do 2 Sand King, and if you're doing up 2, you especially don't do 2 Sand King when the 1 ignores Sand King, alright?
10 seconds remaining.
And he, like, super ignores. It's like one of the absolute worst matchups for Sand King in the universe.
Dire team ban.
Can spin you when you're in the Sandstorm, even if he doesn't have a sight on you. Ignores your entire ult through a use of one of 2 of his abilities, which this team has no real ability to stop. If this guy was going mid before, he better not be doing that now. GG's, the not GG's, assuming a 3 coming out here. Meanwhile, the PATA, looking at the 2s here, probably not the worst guess, but I do feel like it's more likely to see Death Prophet going mid than 3 here.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I agree. I think DP is the London hero in this
5
game.
seconds remaining.
Gonna go into the reserve time here. They have plenty of it. Both teams have been picking rather quickly here. And indeed, we do have a 3 coming out. We got the Underlord here. Not sure who's the 3 on this lineup. We'll see.
Yeah. I would guess Sand King?
Now we're gonna have like a Naga Siren picked here.
10
CK's going
seconds
3, Sand King's going 2, and I'll cry myself to sleep tonight.
5 seconds remaining.
And it's PVC pipe picking too, so we're gonna get kicked out of the league if that's true, and I'm just flaming their draft.
Yeah, that's true. Shoutouts to PVC Pipe.
Do feel like the CK is a good response to the Jug, if nothing else. It's not somebody Jug really wants to see do anything with. Doesn't really care about the abilities, but on the other hand, doesn't really, you know, it's kind of a mutual defeat. Jug can't really kill Chaos Knight. On the other hand, Chaos Knight can't really kill Jug either. So anytime you have those two sort of bashing heads at each other, especially if Underlord is in the neighborhood, it's just two guys do no damage at each other until one gets tired of it and gives up.
You know, random or last pick?
Yep.
Almost. Yeah, mid elk, so lanes are going as you expect them to go.
Oh, PVC pipe on the Grimstroke. Gotham on CK. I believe that that's Cranberry Sprite as a Timber Band Tanker. Yep, that is definitely Mid Alchemist. It's a wacky alchemist, that dude. I wish I had
Yeah,
that.
it is.
Spaceman Alchemist.
You don't play
10
Alchemist.
seconds remaining.
You're right, I still wish I had the set. I mean, I want the Doom set too, and I like pretty much never
5
play him.
seconds remaining.
Also, CK's mount here, it looks like it has 4 chicken legs.
Yeah, it does.
Looks like the team captain over on the not GG's playing that pause 3. Which means he,
Wizards on Juggernaut, huh?
yeah, what the hell is this? This is a bit interesting, isn't it? You're telling me you took Wizard out of my goddamn pool and you're making him play 1?
My pause 1 is out, so I'll just play it myself, I guess.
I guess that'll be it. Hopefully, if we're gonna go through a whole season of Wizard playing pause 1, when we wanted him on that
That would
5
be
so
funny.
bad, there will be a lawsuit coming, Mr. Obi. It will be arriving through your goddamn door very soon. With the change-up, well, I guess not the change-up necessarily. With this lineup on the Pata, there's one issue I have with it. I don't understand why people think CK is like a low gold dependency hero. He's not. He needs pretty much as much gold as like any traditional late game pause 1. He just doesn't quite have the same punch when he gets there as a lot of them do. But if we're picking CK because we think CK is a low gold dependency 1 and we can give Alk space to farm as a result, you are prepping yourself for disaster because that ain't him. You picked the wrong guy if that's what you're looking for.
Right.
Heading out to the rune spots. On the other hand, if we can find some way to extend this line of credit, like if, you know, the 3 and under club can do something that you very rarely see happen in these LD2O games, 3 and under club can, like, secure up the jungle, at least some of these outer camps, to get out, to basically just throw to Alchemist, right?
Yep.
Especially if we can be invading the triangle and taking their ancient camp on this lineup, then this works really well. If we can extend that line of credit, it works really well. But if we're just saying that, you know, the safe farm starts and ends on our side of the river on that lineup, this is really, really, really greedy. There's just not going to be enough gold laying around for all 3 of these guys. Sand King is going to be a glorified support. In particular, he's going to have a very sad time. Going to have to just farm off heroes, basically. Simple 2-for-2 trade. Actually, 3-for-1 trade there, as Pata ends up taking 3 of the runes with no real resistance there.
Yep.
Hopefully that very violent sneeze didn't just infest the video. I don't think it did. I think the push to talk saved me there. The OBS sometimes kind of forgets that I turned that on. What do you think London's favorite Phoenix Wright character is? Or, sorry, Ace Attorney character is? What?
Definitely
What do you
not
mean, bro?
Boy.
What just happened?
Got run down with battery assault.
Yep,
They have an aggressive tri lane. Okay, that
that's
makes sense.
interesting. Yeah, it's gonna make this very interesting. It's got the solo CK top then. Or no, I think somebody just pulled out.
Oh, they're all okay. Yeah, they're all still down here, right? So it's still a pit lord.
Yeah, solo pit lord, my eyes crossed there. Alright, well. We're watching Matty Boy get beat up a little bit. Juggernaut chase the Sand King. It's time for everybody's favorite part of the show, the roll call. So, coming in at probably not full-time pause 1. On the not GGs, we got the Wizard playing the Juggernaut. Pause 2, we got London on the Death Prophet. Pause 3, obithebulldog, captain of the team, on that Pit Lord. Pause 4, Heatwave, aka Tinelson, on that Clockwork, who is now rotated up top, just one buff for First Blood. And it was a good idea, they definitely got it. Pause 5, we got the Malizzard, I believe, as a stand-in on the CM.
Yes.
That doesn't look like Silmarin, by any chance.
Yeah.
On the other hand, on the Pata team, we got
They're gonna get
a
themselves
kill.
a kill here.
On the Pata team,
Is under attack.
pause 1, you've got Gotham, currently on that Chaos Knight. Pause 2, you've got Luke's on the Alchemist. Pause 3, you've got Cranberry Sprite, the first overall pick, on that Sand King. Pause 4, standing in, we have Matty Boy. And pause 5, we have, I looked away at the worst possible time. Pause 5, we have PVC
Double
Pipe,
kill for thinking. Alright.
and a double kill for Sand King.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I don't know who the captain is, but I don't think it's any of these people. I think captain is actually missing from this lineup today. I think that's who Matty's standing in for. Very sad.
It's Meph, right?
Yeah, it's Meph. None of these people look like Meph, so...
Yeah, one of them might be. Who knows?
Are you sure? Because none of these people look like that to me.
Yeah, it's definitely not. I guess that's who Maddie's standing in for. Makes sense.
Yep. Also, Sand King just got CM plus Juggernauted. You know, I had the pleasure recently of punching a Juggernaut CM lane's teeth in. That was fun.
CK Juggernaut lane. That's a
Yeah,
good
that
one.
would be excellent. But no, a CM Juggernaut lane had the good fortune to punch their teeth in, to make them cry, to forced Jug out of lane so badly that Open Dota declared that he was actually jungling. So that was fun. I think the strategy in this lane of maxing out the Firestorm here is only going to really pay dividends if you're going to be consistently getting CK into the gears.
Yep.
Grimstroke was, of course, out there. Had to go assist the old Alchemist there at mid.
Which, hey, it's Tennyson. If there's one person you trust to get someone into good gears, it's him.
Right. Unfortunately, he just missed good gears. Tennyson has been reported. Oh, Juggernaut.
Wizard. Oh, he's fine, I think. Yeah.
What's this glow they get sometimes? Oh, I think that's from this, like, happening.
Yeah, that leveling up for the first time.
Jesus, this is another one of these wacky games. A lot of these wacky games happening. What happens here? Oh.
The cogs you didn't want to see.
Yeah. Just sets up some cogs with CK and the Centaurs, and they take turns beating the shit out of them. That's very sad. No wonder he 100 to 0'd there. Very nasty. Man, I feel like everywhere in week 1 we just had these wacky 100 to 0 out of nowhere kills. It's very hard to be a cameraman this week.
Nelson's going mid lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Bottle refill. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Maybe
they're also
just
going for loops, maybe?
Yeah, that's a very, very ambitious go. While this go is happening, incidentally, we do have a kill down a bot.
Killed Matty Boy.
Yep. Just got CM and Juggernauted. Well, and actually very low here. Just gonna have to back unless he's ghosts in at the perfect time, basically. Clockwork just gonna play point guard, just make sure there's not really an effective chance of that happening. And at this point, this is almost a 2v2 mid. Feels like Grimstroke has spent more time here than he has at top. Which against against an Underlord who is putting points into his passive, it Tranquil Boots? You sure? Okay. You're the man.
Maybe wants bongo boots.
Probably does. Probably wants bongo boots. Now, probably realistically just wants to get all of his mana off a Soul Ring. But on Pit Lord, buddy, that's not a very favorable exchange rate. You need a lot more than a Soul Ring can give you mana-wise, I'm afraid to say. And we missed another wacky kill at bot. Let's see what happened. Wow, what a reach.
Get the sun's up. Yeah.
Yep. Matty Boy literally at the fullest extent of that.
What a tough lane for Jug.
It's going very back and forth. I mean, you know, 1, 2, and 2.
I know he
Very
played
bloody
Jug in
lane.
the first game to pretty good effect. So that's one thing I do know about game 1.
Right. Sand King using his Sandstorm to farm both this camp and the wave. Getting himself a broom handle for his troubles. And a Clarity.
You have done a great service.
You know what flavor Clarities are?
It's water.
No, they're actually flavored. You want to know what flavor it is?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Say, it's actually a, you know, it's what you might think. It's actually savory drink. It's post nut.
Oh. Okay. Cool.
Alchemist actually completely forgoing concoction here. Just trying to beat up some fat stacks, which PVC has basically spent this entire game so far setting up.
Yep.
Let's get it.
Very good for Elk.
Just as Matty Boy goes down in this wacky fight, and
Oh
Juggernaut
my
follows.
God.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Alright.
The mutual dewarding going on here.
Yeah.
Middleton's about to find this this stack being done, but with the Grimstroke there just doesn't seem to be any confidence to actually do anything about this.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's much he can do. I mean, they will kill Gotham up here,
yeah.
so there's that.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Armageddon out of here. Finishes the soul ring for the Underlord, and London just kind of TP's out. Actually, a little early there. I'm not really sure why he doesn't just eat the tower with the ult up. On one hand, I guess.
That, I suppose.
Yep. It's not gonna last that long, though. I guess it is, but
Dire's middle
no, it actually isn't gonna last that long.
Yeah,
Guess it gets some
Radiant's bottom
enough here,
tower
but
is under attack.
well, no, actually, it doesn't get enough. It doesn't even get the tower into deny range.
I'll take that as tribute.
That's actually good. It would actually have been worse if it got the tower into deny range, because that was going to be a very free deny for Alchemist if it was.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So far, Alchemist absolutely dominating the last hits, which is no surprise because I would wager a very large part. Oh no, Sand King's Courier. I would wager a very large part of those Pitlord getting dove under the tower here. Very large part of those last hits are from those big ass stacks he was taking in the camp while I was getting interrupted over and over there.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Do it with flair.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
We'll say this about the CK Grimstroke combination, right? It's one of those places where it's, you know, 0 compared to 1 situation, but he doesn't have Reality Rift. Never mind, I take back what I was about to say. I mean, I guess it is, he can use the Inkswell with a Phantasm, and just sort of use that as a point guard while he does more interesting things. So there is that. I'll still give him half credit, which is more than you usually get out of the sort of redundant Grimstroke combos where it really is just Inkswell damage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Randy, you are still on, right?
Structures are
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, excellent. You forgot to speak for a while. Very important role as a caster, I
Yeah.
think.
Just kind of absorbing the energy of this game. Okay.
Well, if you were Shadow Shaman, you would be absorbing a big hook there.
Drops the
Also,
words to punish
yeah,
Nelson there.
stuck in jail.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Sand King not only gets to kill, he gets to walk away scot-free, eat this tower. That's good play by Maddie. Smile on my face. I'm the Sand King.
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure it's necessarily worth the words. I think Kennelson probably would have died anyway, but
I kind of doubt it actually, because his battery assault was still running. Where did that just happen? Oh, London's just diving the hell out of this down here.
bottom lane. Yeah,
Radiant's middle tower
nothing
is
that can
under
stop
attack.
this man.
But yeah, battery assault was still running when that was happening. I don't think that Sand King actually gets the kill there if it doesn't happen. I don't know why Maddie doesn't stop the TP there though, because boy, it sure was a worse reality that he was going to, and he got the tip out there because Gotham is all about the PMA. Not Gotham, London, all about the PMA.
My traps.
Well, the old denial type Grimstroke ult, just saying nobody come close to this guy if you want to live.
Yep.
While looks like the old Pitlord's just getting towered over again. This Pitlord needs to make like a tree and get the hell out of here. Clearly at this point, this isn't working. I think there is a way he could survive this lane. Can you pause for 2 minutes? Great.
Gonna eat something.
Bro, eat something before the goddamn games. What do you think this is? Eat
The London
something.
moment.
Jesus. You better be diabetic or something. Come on. Well, at least Wizards
I
apologizing.
apologize on behalf of my teammates.
He's not British,
Very
though.
official. I know, this is a very, very kind of
Radiant's
prim
top
way to
tower
say
is
that.
under attack.
He's about to be apologizing on behalf of life.
Yeah.
It's taken down by Maddie. One right click, the 3 and under club. Sorry, Ramadan.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
London. That's when you don't eat things, isn't it? I guess the time just rolled over and he was very desperate to eat.
Yeah. Wish-
But geez, man, just get like a granola bar and have that at this time and then have the real meal after the game ends.
Oh my god, the maiden ult.
Yeah, this CM ult is huge! Basically just got them 3 kills there.
Good god.
Excellent work.
Alright.
4th kill coming in.
Support player right there.
Yeah, this Melizzard, whoever Melizzard is, that's CM ult of the year. I like the 10-inch Pit Lord ult. Probably just trying to at least flank where he at least thought somebody was, if I'm guessing.
Yep.
Anyway, there's one way Pit Lord could have survived this lane at a certain point. That's just going all in on Atrophy Aura, and he just didn't want to do that. Wanted to keep the Firestorm to keep the waves going. Well, congratulations, you got the waves, you lost your life.
Tower is under attack.
I know a lot of people love to pump in a Firestorm over the game, and if you can do it, great. You couldn't do it this game, and he did it anyway, and look what happened to you. At least he's starting to get some A's now that we're getting into the mid-game. But laning like that in the future, it is going to get you messed up. We got a Defiance coming in on him, so that's good at least. The Defiance is going to let him basically just write off the Sand King ult for a while. It's going to help him stave off a lot of what the Shadow Shaman does, decent amount of what the Grimstroke does, and certainly if we're looking at items like Dagon in the future, which with a Grimstroke on your team is not entirely unfeasible. It's helping get rid of those as well. London just gonna ult right over this tower, just eats it minutes flat. Minutes flat, what I'm saying, seconds.
Tower damage right there.
Yep.
Very powerful.
Where did PVC pipe just get clapped? Oh. Was that a really cool hook shot that we just missed? Potentially?
I don't
see how this goes.
Yeah.
Has fallen.
Oh,
Yep, it was a really cool
Nice.
hook shot. Yeah, don't worry, Tennyson, we didn't miss it. Kind of. Be bad enough that he had to leave to eat, but he paused for like 20 minutes, bro. Like, come on.
good to eat.
What did he eat? A
Don't eat
10-course meal?
You don't just eat in 1 second, you know. You gotta take your time.
Yeah, that's true. On the other hand, I probably wouldn't like drive off to Mickey D's during the game. That's all I'm saying. CK getting pretty caught out. What?
I don't think he's the one who's getting caught out.
Very interesting. Very interesting little situation there. It looked like Wizard had that all under control, but I think Pit Lord couldn't really figure out who the real CK was. He was dropping skills at the wrong spot. By the way, CM just got eaten somewhere off screen by a hasted Alchemist. Take a look at that net worth chart. That Alchemist net worth is going absolutely bananas. Is it really as bananas as it should be? Perhaps not.
Middle tower is under
You know, only 2k lead over the, you know, that does sound funny, only 2k lead, but when you're Alchemist, it really is just only a 2k lead.
is under attack.
You know, the thing with Alchemist is that Alchemist doesn't really actually scale that well. It's the biggest hit, the most well-kept secret of the guy in the game. He doesn't actually scale all that well. He just gets all of his items really, really, really fast, and it makes him look like he scales really well. Reality is, he's like a 40-minute mark for the guy, right? I'd say like maybe 35. Oh, I got a leash here. You're not getting the spin out, but kind of prevents more from happening there. London really wanted to go in. Hook shot hits nothing.
Oh, the pit.
Very good pit there.
Good
Goodbye,
God.
the entire Dire team,
Water.
basically. And that massive money balloon that was the Alchemist just blew up right into London's lap.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And London's already pretty full pockets.
Yep.
I'll rip this tower down.
Just absolutely annihilating it here.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And just put the pressure on, get
Dire's
out.
middle tower is under attack.
So what's Tennyson up to? He's doing something over here. I don't know what exactly he's looking for. Maybe just seeing if anyone's
Kind of
trying to wait by
controlling
the
this
triangle.
area.
Yeah.
Do it with flair.
Looks to be a fight brewing here.
I'll take that as tribute.
Radiant huddling up in the triangle here, getting circled by Alchemist.
Have Elk says we need to control this area instead of them, which is a good point.
Pit Lord ult just to bail the Juggernaut out. Get him where the team is. It would be funny if all 5 of the Dire guys just chased right into that portal and started killing everybody. Tier 2 items dropping at record pace for this Dire for this Dire lineup. Some interesting neutral items there. In particular, we got the always beloved Philosopher's Stone. Except in this game where nobody loves it, nobody wants it, I guess. Seems like you could certainly use it on some of these guys, especially old Grimstroke, who's sitting there with a broom handle and no money at all.
Is under attack.
For the stats.
Yep. Yeah, you know what's better than stats? Money.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That's all I'm saying. All I'm
Dire's
saying.
bottom tower has fallen.
Another objective falling down here. This not GG's lineup is taking an absolutely astronomical lead in the objectives so far, even with this tower finally
They're
going down.
Probably gonna take tier 2 bottom as well. Just to completely clear the map of outer towers.
Yep, it is all the outer towers down compared to, well, Dire's got two T1s.
And London's gonna run uphill.
Under attack.
Yeah, they're running uphill. They actually were pulling out some of these guys to try and stop this, but they decided not. They decided against that, and they're going to lose a T3 for their trouble.
Yeah.
Might lose the wizard, though.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Oh, good
Oh,
hook.
the Omni Slash. It's super good hook. Just completely turns that fight around.
Very good hook, very good Omni Slash, and goodbye, Rax.
Is under attack. Dire's bottom tower
Alright.
has fallen.
This is a very casual Rax here.
Dire's bottom
Yeah, that's kind of what happens to you when you have a Death Prophet on your team. You need to constantly be aware of where they could push. You need to keep those outer towers healthy.
London's saying no, bro. We're fountain farming,
God, London, no.
and it's not
London,
going
no,
well
you
for
got
them.
3 men explode.
The better option here was probably not to give Chaos Knight a wicked 6 streak.
The metallurgic arts can stop the strokes of my brush.
Got him.
That's fine. Rex for 3. I'll take that.
Rex for 3 and giving CK a wicked 6 streak. I'll take that, yeah.
It's like 200 more gold than he would have gotten for a normal kill. Whatever.
Bringing him out of that support gold range, and he's starting to look like a real core again. I mean, it is CK though, so there's that to think about.
At last.
Yeah, there's also the fact that it's like a pause 1 that could never outcarry any other pause 1.
I don't know about any other.
Yeah, maybe outcarries like Ricky pause 1. That's about it.
I'd say he outcarries Ricky. I'd say he's to parity on some of them.
Goodbye, Mr. Tennyson.
Yep, just classic case of sticking around and finding out. Gets the weird Russian noises for his troubles.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Snakes going up in the trees down there as the glyph comes out in response. Radiant going right into Rocher, getting spotted for it.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Gonna be hard for them to get there in time. They're gonna try at least.
Yep.
Are smoked.
I think it'll die before they get there.
Yeah, Pit Lord actually put in that pit at the last second, which completely prevented them from coming in. They saw it too. And now the die is pretty well split up here. Seems like nobody was actually very confident about what to do
Are scanning.
to that Roche, and now Alchemist is just kind of out on a limb on his own here, but just a little too fast for him to do anything to. Gonna have to settle for the Grimstroke instead. They're not even actually gonna get him.
Fine, they have Aegis. They have all the time in the world to decide what to do. Got them. Oh, he's dead.
Well, that's not good. That is very likely game, I think.
I mean, they have DP with Exorcism up in another, what, like 30 seconds?
Minute, actually.
Middle tower is under attack.
It's not level 3.
The more pressing issue is that you have no pause 1, and your support line is getting eaten.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, but you do have a Grimstroke. And a really angry Alchemist with a BKB.
Yep. This is 8. Well, you don't have that.
Townsend?
Yep, you don't have that BKB anymore. Not only do you have a really good set of gears there, you have an immediate silence in as well. Just forces them to back off as the rest of the 3 and under club just gets completely eviscerated.
Townsend is just finding the people he needs to find at the exact right time he needs to find them.
That's dieback for Grimstroke.
Yep.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks.
They did buy the entire time for CK to come up. Downside, they also bought the entire time for Exorcism to come up.
Yes.
So even if he thinks he wants to do something about this, he ain't doing nothing
They
about
can-
this.
They can swing top. I'm sure they will, yep.
Tennyson just gonna play point guard here at the T4s. Actually attracting a lot of attention as the Exorcism just eats the towers, and yeah, sure he goes down, but like... Okay, this could be bad.
This is dead, alright.
That, in fact, was bad.
You're probably
Shog
gonna get
had the
routed
Aegis.
here. Yeah, he did.
Well, that wasn't a good idea. That definitely should have gone to DP. I don't think that matters. I don't know if there's a realistic
Yeah,
path to
doesn't matter.
victory, but, you know. With 1 inch of your ranged racks at top up and supers in both other lanes, melee is basically just 1 respawn away. A very sad position to be in when you have the top net worth guy in the server by 6k net worth, huh?
He's an alchemist, so it doesn't really count. I don't think.
That is true, but it's still very sad just on paper, just looking at that disparity. Look at the fact they still have, in fact, the overall net worth advantage, and it's actually growing.
I'll take your tribute.
I mean, I think this is pretty much a simple case. You know, with with Alchemist, you have a hero who is not online, who really cannot do anything except be big, scary, kind of intimidating, and not die for a very long time. With Chaos Knight, you got a guy who is big, scary, intimidating, and can get a kill once in a while for a very long time. You put them together on one team, you just have these two guys who are just not going to be online for so long and are going to be kind of actively, you know, a detriment to each other in the field of trying to do so. They didn't find the money, to their credit. I mean, CK is on parity with the Radiant Course. There's that at least. But he's just still, it just still feels like they're a million miles behind.
Double damage.
I run to their jungle with the DDL carry.
Yep. Running into, of course, their own jungle. And they all miss Tennyson. Oh man,
okay.
Tennyson with a great hook! Who cares about that DD on Alchemist? Bye-bye, buddy!
Who cares about that bot Rex? Or top Rex, I guess it was.
The Exorcism just killing everybody.
Yeah,
CK the only survivor.
That's really brutal.
And that's it. Ultra kill for London. This game is super over.
Okay, so ban DP against London as well too now, apparently.
Dire's middle tower is under
Another one to add to the ban chart. I mean, to be fair, to be honest with you, the DP this game was played really well, but I will be unfair enough to say, easy Gotham, I will be unfair enough to say, I do think this game probably goes better, or rather worse. This game probably goes worse for this lineup, if it isn't for the really major draft deficiencies on that team. I mean, let's just be frank. It's not a good comp. It's too much money. They needed like 60 minutes. And the really sad thing is, by the time that Alchemist comes online, and he's going to have to be fighting CK for gold during that, by the time he comes online, you know, his time's already passed. He's already outscaled by the enemy cores. Because, you know, he's only really on parity with DP. Funnily enough, most of his net worth comes from the last couple of minutes of the game, and even then that really just wasn't enough. It's only ever really on parity with DP because CK needs so much money. If CK doesn't get that money, then he's a literal waste of a slot, which is not good at as your pause one. Poor Sand King was really nothing more than a very elaborate support, and he got more money this game than you usually would in that position. But it sure didn't feel like that money went to anything of value here. You really had what comes down to a 3v5 against a lineup that is super good against dealing with that 3v5. I mean, you want to talk about a hero that just eats supports. You know, does not care about them. You're talking about the Death Prophet, you're talking about the Clockwork, you're talking about the Juggernaut. Juggernaut was a very good pick. It was a very good pick when it was picked, and it was a very good pick at the end of draft phase, and I think Wizard executed it well. You know, he's not a core main. I think it's a waste of his talents to be putting him on core, to be honest with you. But certainly in this game, I think he understood the advantage he had, and he played it well. He pressed it well. The Death Prophet understood the London understood the advantage he had. He pressed it, played it well. I don't know if the Underlord really, honestly, had that much of an impact on this game, but at the very least, he was smart enough to pick up that pipe of insight here, which did help just completely nullify any chance, because let's just be frank, the only way they get anything done on that lineup, on that Pata lineup, is that they have the best epicenter in the world, except, whoops, that's gone now. You just removed basically the entirety of the epicenter damage with that pipe of insight, so nope, not that anymore. So now what do you got in the first 30 minutes of the game? You really got nothing.
Not a whole lot, yeah.
Tennyson, I think, was at his best today. I don't understand, at this point, like, unless you counterpick it, don't let it through. Like, why? Why let him do it, you know? They had the London bans in the first round. I don't agree. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think he's picking that early. Get rid of the Clockwork. It's a very simple thing. You either really counterpick it or you get rid of it. Can you counterpick Clockwork? Yes, I think there's a lot of great counterpicks to Clockwork in the game, and a lot of them, funnily enough, got buffed since Season 12. I mean, probably the number one Clockwork counter, Skywrath Mage, is better now than he was last time we were talking about this. Very much shuts down that Clockwork, frankly. Very good against most of the London lineup as well, right? So, if you're going to let the Clockwork through, pick that. Don't pick, like, Shadow Shaman. What's he gonna do? Don't pick like, the alchemist there. Alchemist actually particularly wasn't good here. Partially because of that, million gold on the map issue. Just needed a million gold. Of course, partially because it felt like every single fight he was just getting completely sewed out by the Clockwork, and nobody was able to do anything about it. Everybody just kind of stared at him and watched him die. Because look at this lineup. What are they going to do about it? The best they got is they can send a Grimstroke Q and maybe silence the Clockwork in there. And that's it. Ban the Clockwork. Counter it or ban it. You know he's going to pick it. Counter it or ban it. I don't know. Still, unfortunately, I feel like it's very hard to analyze this Pada team, partially due to the fact that their captain is not here. Partially due to the fact that, the draft efficiency here was very real, unfortunately. Just didn't work out today. So we'll get some nice fancy gameplay analysis of this lineup next week. But for now, that's it. So, as we always say, if you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg. It's too late to sign up for Season 13 now, but Stand-In Mania is running wild. We are, you can see right here, we had to, Matty Boy, he was going to cast a game on this day, and he couldn't because he had to stand in, alright? We definitely need a lot of stand-ins. People are going to be missing a lot of these days, and I think as time goes on, actually, as we get into the middle of the season, that fact is going to get even worse. If you play any role at all, and you are under 3,500 MMR, make sure to show up, see what you can do. I guarantee you almost at this point, if you show up as a stand-in right now, you are probably going to get a game by the end of the season. Of course, even if you don't want to show up, if you don't want to stand in, that's where you get to see the link to our live streams that we do every Sunday. That's where you get to hang out in that Discord server and interact. Find somebody interesting, find something you like. Maybe you could watch Buttery Greg roast those dudes who just show up. Or maybe you could read all those fun copy pastas. The world is endless in the Learn Dota 2 League. But, I just got one question. Who's sponsoring us this week? I didn't actually check the paper.
Nando's.
Nando's?
Yeah.
Well, were they involved in the last game? Were they involved with, delivering Dusty some Nando's or something?
Yeah, that's true. That was a premonition of this cast.
Oh, okay, yeah. This week's, broadcast was sponsored, brought to you by Nando's. Nando's. It's chicken. It's British, and apparently it's cheeky somehow?
It's actually South African, but...
Yeah, but it's originally South African, but at this point, mostly. There's a lot of weird brands like that, like Foster's, for example, right? Is an Australian beer, but it is pretty rarely seen in Australia, pretty much a British product, but marked as an Australian product in Britain. And I think, as I understand it anyway, that's the same relationship with Nando's. It's like marketed as a South African product in the United Kingdom. Right. And it's cheeky. Cheeky Nando's. Yeah, we should have gotten Greg's instead. A lot of interesting things happen at Greg's,
That's true.
Anyway, so we were sponsored by British Food. Next time you'll be seeing a two-parter series. Probably. Unless we record one part and then die. I don't know.